Hello, this is Bruce Edwin with the Hollywood Sentinel, and I'm speaking here today with Draven Midnight. Draven, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good, thanks for being here. Draven, I've known you for a while, and I think you're a very cool guy and talented musician. For those of us that don't know, about you, can you please give a little background about who you are and what you do?
All right. For my creative life, I'm a recording artist. I've been recording music for over 1.5 decades now. It's been a lot of fun, and outside of the creative world, I'm a self-educated software engineer.
Cool.
So two things that, on first glance, you may not think go together, but they go together very well.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So do you work in the industrial rock realm, or?
So the sounds I generally go for are kind of pulled from the best of the 90s. You have grunge and industrial, which were very prolific in that decade, and it left a considerable impression on my art.
Cool. Who would you say would be some of your top influences musically?
Top influences musically?
Just several off the top of your mind.
Nirvana is a huge influence.
Cool.
The songwriting, how dynamic that band was.
Yeah.
A little bit of Led Zeppelin in there. If you like rock music, you'd be sad if you don't know how awesome Led Zeppelin is.
Gotta love Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
Then Nine Inch Nails are another big influence, as well as the Deftones. And
cool.
Really, the texture, the tones, the kind of attitude that I like to bring to music, kind of like Queens of the Stone Age.
Cool. Well, those are all bands I can definitely say I appreciate. So, very cool. And you said for living creatively as well, you're doing computer design, or what did you say?
It's open source software engineering.
What does that mean?
So open source generally refers to web technologies.
Okay.
So, and typically it means free, that it's a maintained library or framework of code that the community takes care of.
Okay.
They'll enhance upon, or they'll document, that sort of thing.
Interesting. There's a band called Sisters of Mercy that I'm sure you're familiar with. Andrew Eldridge, the singer of that band, put on his website something about open source web site or something. I didn't quite know what it was all about. So is that
okay,
similar? Or?
Yeah, like anytime you hear open source, it's going to be a bunch of developers or software engineers who have a code base that, as a collective, they work on it together to keep it maintained.
Interesting.
So these are free tools that a lot of people out there use all the time, but it takes people to build them.
Okay. Cool. There's a lot I want to talk with you about the tech and the computer world, but we can maybe get into that at another time.
Sounds good.
How did you really start doing this? The music and
the music thing.
And all that?
I grew up with a lot of music in my family. I was told that before I started speaking, I was singing.
Cool.
It goes way back. All my uncles, they all play guitar, and every Christmas we'd have a family jam and do like Beatles songs, Rolling Stones, some CCR, that sort of thing. So by the time I was a teenager, you're expected a lot from you as far as being capable musician.
That's cool.
So just the passion of being around it, and then wanting to record my music was the big thing that popped up when I was about 16, and from there I dove into a bunch of trade magazines and learned everything I possibly could about recording prior to getting into a studio. And it was like, all right, this was like research and development pretty much before I was able to get a job and save up some money to go and buy the cool gear in
Wow.
order to make records with.
So you learn like the soundboards and mixing and everything, or
Yeah,
Wow.
totally.
cool.
It's amazing what the ear picks up on if it's trained. It's a whole new world, and that's kind of what musicians do. We translate things that are abstract with our ears that can be like in real life.
Interesting. Very cool. Well, would you say that you've done everything? Well, let me rephrase this. What is on the horizon for you now musically that you might be able to talk about?
What is musically on the horizon? So I've got my main project right now is the Undead Hearts,
Okay.
and this is a collaboration. Prior to the Undead Hearts, most of the work I've done had all been like a self-effort, and it's like learning the ropes and whatnot. And then I relocated up to Los Angeles, dove into this project, made some friends in the community, and now I've got a bunch of other musicians who I'm working with in the studio, outside of the studio, to bring the music to life.
Excellent. Draven, I want to thank you for being here. I'd like to resume speaking with you real briefly later, and we'll be sure to include your website in this link. And
Excellent.
thank you again. We'll definitely want to get everyone to check out your work that if not, I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.